Hi, good morning. Thank you all for being here. And I would just like to start a little bit about letting everybody in the panel introduce themselves. And, we were just discussing about this. In fact, we had a mini panel of our own. And we would like to, I would like everybody to introduce themselves and start off with, telling us a little bit about how they feel gifting has evolved. We can get into gift card details after that, but I think all of them come from various backgrounds, and they have a very different view of what gifting means across different sectors. Let's get that first, and let's get started.
Hi. So India is a very young country.
Yes.
And,
let's introduce each.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm Ritesh. I take care of marketing at Croma. In a retailer setup, marketing is really all about, ensuring there is footfall coming into the stores. And that's essentially where, gift cards also becomes part of our, strategy. It's about getting somebody to buy a gift card, which is a transaction. It's also about getting a second person to come into the store to enjoy the gift card, which is the second transaction. And that's really how it becomes part of our marketing story. In terms of how we see gifting and how we see gift cards, the largest volume of business for gift cards for Croma is really B2B. And the way we have reimagined it is we have sort of seen it as a B2B2C. So eventually an individual is going to get the gift card. Eventually, an individual is going to come and shop at Croma. And what we have observed is if you get a customer to come in with, let's say, a 5,000 rupee gift card, he sort of tends to see that money as free and therefore spends a lot more. It's like, I already have 5,000 rupees. I'll put some more money of my own. And therefore, you get a multiple on the gift card that you have sold. So B2B2C, the biggest customers are corporates for employees, dealers, etc. The second space or time in the year is when, let's say, there's a wedding approaching or something, or let's say a colleague is leaving an organization or something like that, where people put together money and give the person a gift card for Croma. So special gifting occasions and B2B2C.
Got it.
Hi there. My name is Bruce, and I am with a company called NetMeds, which I helped to create back in June of 2015. I've lived in India now for 10 years. I just completed my 10th year in Mylapore. I come from Florida, so I don't mind the heat in Chennai, and very thrilled to be here. My dentist recently asked me, she was preparing to do some work, how long do you intend to stay in India? And I said, I'm looking forward to another 40 years, which would make me 107. So that would be good, right? So anyway, India is my home, and I've become very much a student of consumer behavior economics and understanding what really makes the Indian consumer tick and what, more importantly, makes them satisfied. You guys may be familiar with a book that was written in 1998 called The Never Satisfied Customer. And it was so prescient because what it talked about was that the consumer was about to become so deluged with branding information from so many channels that it was going to be difficult for any consumer to remain loyal to any brand. And it's funny how prescient that was and how true it is now. So now, managing a brand and dealing with customers every day, we're very focused on the fact that you really have to look at your customer as never satisfied, and you're always striving for some level of satisfaction to bring him. I come to this conclave not only as a customer on a consumer level of gift cards. I've been, the Amazon gift card is my go-to gift, and I have never found anybody less than thrilled about getting it. I was telling the panel gang a story, too, at the beginning. I also have a girlfriend who, after a series of gifting her various clothing items and seeing the look on her face looked like she had just bit into a lemon, I found that a card from H&M is now much more welcomed, and I can count on the fact that rather than the reaction of seeing the item that I selected sitting in her closet every day, the one that she bought herself from H&M, when she wears it, she still remembers that I ultimately was the giver of the gift. So I love the whole gift card concept, and in fact, at NetMeds, we are just about to launch with Qwikcilver a gift of health card, and we think this is going to really be an exciting thing for gangs of moms to give to at baby showers and to pregnant moms, for people to assist their parents in what we call distance caring. You know, a lot of kids have migrated successfully from little villages and gotten great big IT jobs, but they're thousands of miles away from their parents at home in a village. I don't know if any of you remember, but the very first TV commercial for NetMeds told the story of a father, widowed, left all alone in his home, empty nested, and as he started to see his days coming to an end, the doorbell rings, there's a NetMeds package, and he realizes that his daughter has remembered him on this special and significant day. So the whole concept of distance caring, of taking care of your loved ones, using this wonderful new digital platform that's evolved through digital fintech, through telemedicine, teleprescribing. We're all wrapped up in that, and our goal is, you know, a healthier country and making it easier for everyone to maintain their own and their family's health, and we think gift cards are part of that process.
Hi everyone, good morning. I'm Priya Sharma. I'm co-founder and CFO of Zestmoney. Zestmoney is India's best loved fintech brand. We are also the largest fintech consumer platform in India right now. What do? We offer consumers an easy way to avail EMI or instant monthly installments at the point of checkout, completely real time and in a very bite-sized manner. What we have done, and actually this is something that has actually helped us and also Qwikcilver reimagine gift cards, is actually that customers can come on to Zestmoney, they can apply for an instant credit limit, and then they can actually choose to redeem their credit limit using a gift card mechanism, and then use that to transact on their favorite online shop. So for example, a customer right now can come on to Zestmoney and load their Amazon Pay account using a Zestmoney credit limit, and then use that to transact online. And given that Amazon Pay is now available everywhere, they can even use it to actually order their food on Swiggy or on NetMeds and things like that. We also offer this facility offline as well, so a customer could go to an offline store and they might see a Zestmoney standee and they can give a missed call, and through that they can go through the entire journey with Zestmoney and get an instant credit limit approval, and then they can automatically load that credit limit onto a gift card that is redeemable on the store, and then they can use that to complete their purchase, and they can pay us back using monthly installments. We are targeting primarily the new to credit population in India, which we believe is about 300 million households. And these are people who are banked, they have bank account, they have salaries, they have income, but they may not have a credit footprint and a credit score, and that's why these people are actually excluded from the formal credit economy, which is the credit cards and the bank personal loans, and therefore they see Zestmoney as a very quick and easy way for them to transact online and offline and make it more affordable for them to actually buy mobile phones, consumer durables, healthcare, even education. So yes, we have actually been partnering with Qwikcilver and we use this mechanism, and a lot of the brands are actually using the gift card mechanism as a platform to provide EMIs, and please come and talk to us after this, and would love to walk you through how this works and how you can provide EMI to your customer base through Zestmoney. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Vinay. I represent Future Group, and For us, this whole gift card business is reasonably new. I think thanks to those three gentlemen, Kumar, Pratap and Shankar smiling away, we got into it, 3 or 4 years back, and I'm happy to tell you that we are, and correct me Kumar if I'm wrong, the largest issuer of closed loop gift cards in the country today. Okay, but that is just a bit about size. I think to your question, there's something very interesting I read in the slide which right at the bottom line, which talked about that gift card is a very small subset of the gifting market of India. Is that right? There was something at the bottom over there, okay? And I think that's an important, that just shows us the size and scale of this. I'm guessing the gift card market of India must be what, couple of $1 billion, give or take. But the size of gifting, humongous. I mean, how many of you guys sitting in the audience have been to a Punjabi wedding? Guys? Or a Tamilian wedding or a Kannadiga wedding? You've gone, right, Priya? Yeah? People walk into those weddings with 3 pressure cookers to present to in different sizes. Yeah, they walk in, Bruce, this is surprising to you, they walk in with a gas stove to present to the bride. But for some reason in Indian culture, gift registry, which is very popular in Europe or in the States, is somehow not part of our culture. We don't like this idea of putting out a list. Yeah, people do it bits and pieces. Really doesn't happen in a big way across India. People like giving physical because it's not only the gift to the bride and the groom, it's also the gift to the people sitting in the room. They're showing this is the size of, so India is very different in that sense. And if we could have an answer to the wider gifting market, my guess is that is 100, 200, 500 times the size of just the gift card industry. And I think that is, so I would urge all the brand people, format guys, retailers, don't think of yourself as just, and Kumar will kill me for this, as locked into gift card. There is a much bigger market sitting for you there, number one. And I think the last small point to make, India has this way of surprising us. In the international Western European markets, 90% of the gift card industry is people gifting, what I think in the slide you call peer-to-peer. Whereas in India, I'm guessing, Ritesh, am I right, 1090 or 2080 is...
The opposite, yeah.
It's actually opposite, yeah. Okay? And, but there is something else India has done. Internationally, physical cards are still large. But take a look at us. For example, we operate in a town called Jharsuguda in Orissa, small town. Digital EGVs, the 14-digit code with the 6-digit pin, people have jumped to. So they have moved from paper vouchers all the way to digital. In fact, 80% of our business is now digital. So again, India surprises you in many, many ways with respect to gifting. My only submission to you is it's a humongous market. I don't think we have even scratched the surface, but there's a long way to go in what we could, jointly achieve.
Hi, I'm Sahil Jain, founder at Dineout. We are the largest dining out platform in the country, seating about 2.5 million diners on a monthly basis today. And I think, after having heard everyone on the panel, it just, makes me believe that gifting is such a big market, but it hasn't been exposed to the dining out industry as such, if you look at it, right? Because you always have a way of gifting a hotel voucher, a one-night, room stay to your friend or to your, parents or whatever it is. But there's no way that you can actually gift a meal voucher to your, friend, whether it's an occasion-based gifting or any other sort of format. The challenge there obviously is the fact that there are 20,000 restaurants, and how do you kind of ensure it is enabled there and used at that restaurant? And that is where we come in, wherein, with Dineout Pay, wherein we've enabled payments inside 15,000 plus restaurants, we have the capability to actually allow users to actually gift a meal for two at a 5-star hotel, at a casual dining place or a bar, whatever you choose to do, right? So for example, if you want to gift something to someone on a birthday, typically you would land up, maybe giving a 2,100 rupees sort of gift voucher of Zara or a clothing brand or an H&M, but there's no way to actually gift a meal voucher or a dinner for two. And that is something that we are enabling, and it's a huge market, right? Today, as we speak, just for the organized market, there are about 300 million dining instances happening, annually. This is just the organized market, forget the unorganized market, right? And that's how large the market is. And if we can kind of capture that with the gifting sort of concept, because that is big in India, as you know, everyone has spoken about, then it's a whole new industry which hasn't even been looked at from a gifting standpoint, because you typically look at a physical good or a hotel room night or something on those lines. So this is something that we are looking at and looking to scale up in the next couple of years. Yeah.
Pratap, I would actually like to ask you, we were talking about digital, right? What percentage or how big is digital for you? How many people are actually buying, a physical gift card to give to their friends versus going digital?
The online world is, of course, digital gift cards are preferred or physical, but even in the offline world, consumers are far more increasingly adopting gifting through e-gift cards instead of physical gift cards for the convenience factor. I can give far quicker. I'm living in Bangalore, my family is in, say, Cochin or Calcutta, and I just need to have it delivered right now rather than waiting for the physical gift card to be delivered a day later, 2 days later. So that being the reason, adoption has been far quicker. From a percentage trend-wise, in the offline world, while there are, like Vinay talked about, 80% of the biggest of offline brands having adoption of e-gift cards, it's likewise for very many other offline brands as well. And we do see this as a harbinger of things to come in the future as well.
Got it. Would like to understand from you guys, who are your customers? A lot of you spoke about B2B and that being big, but who are these end customers who are, adopting gift cards? I heard a very interesting trend that a lot of these are blue-collared workforce who prefer digital gift cards and are adopting very fast. Would like to get more insights on some of those.
So I think from our perspective, at least in the dining out market, I think it's everyone, who's earning above a certain salary and in the age group of 25 to 45, right? The biggest challenge today is that, why gift card is easier is something what Bruce mentioned. You don't know that if you actually give a particular gift, will that person really like it or not, whether it's your wife or whether it's your girlfriend or anyone else. But with a gift card, when you're gifting something about the brand, the other person is free to choose what they actually want to buy from that particular brand. And that takes away a lot of, stress away from it. Because again, going back to the Indian culture, I've seen it since ages that there'll be thousands of gifts which are lying there at my home and they're stored up there in a cupboard, right, which are being unused, right?
Waiting to be regifted.
Waiting to be regifted,
Yeah.
right? That's waiting to be regifted, right? That's the whole concept in India. You just keep on rotating gifts which come in on Diwali, you regift it again and again and again. But I think with gift cards that goes away, right? Because now if I get a gift card for a Zara or an H&M or a Croma or whatever it is, right? I will actually go and buy what I really want to buy. If I get an Amazon gift card, I know I want to buy a phone, I want to buy something on Amazon, I'll just go and use it there and actually use it, right? So that's the difference in mindset which gift card brings to the table, which is not there with normal gifting, with physical gifting on a day-to-day basis.
So just to also address who is the customer part, we see the largest growth segment for us today is let me call it the digital worker. And what do I mean by that? The guy who drives the Uber Ola cab, the guy who delivers your food parcel in the afternoon in your lunch break, the delivery boy. And I think these companies, so it's B2B2C like Ritesh rightly said, and these guys are used to digital. Their whole, unlike us who belong to the area of maybe desktop computers and maybe some of us even typewriters and telex machines, these guys, the office is the smartphone. And I think they are so conversant with digital. It is by far the largest growing segment for us in rewards and recognition. And these are the guys who use the vouchers on and they're so comfortable with just dealing with a message which comes in vis-a-vis others who may want a physical piece.
In fact, just to add to that, for our sales team, like in most cases, when you have to reward them over and beyond the normal incentive program, if there's a separate, drive that we're doing for our sales team, Amazon gift vouchers are the easiest thing to give to them, and they love it, right? It's easily usable, consumable. A 5,000 rupee gift card works really well, right? And it's like as good as real money, right? Which they can actually use to buy something for themselves or something for the family. So I think that's the consumer.
I think just to add on, we also realized that food, as a consumption, because fashion, for a guy who's driving a delivery boy, how often is he going to buy fashion? He'll buy it once in a way. But if you give him a food voucher, it is like cash. What we say in Hindi, ration. It's a ration ka voucher,
So just to add a couple of points. One is so that we don't get locked into the notion that it's just the blue collar. It's just a convenience thing, okay? So we have corporates who prefer to take gift cards as gratification for dealers or employees, etc. And e-cards make it that much easier. At the same time, at the lower end, see, comfort with digital comes from the experience we have as a prepaid telecom market. Right. When you are, loading talk time onto your phone, that is when you get comfortable with this, 14-digit and then a pin and whatever it is. And therefore, it's a very prevalent habit cutting across the strata. In terms of the profile at Croma using gift cards, there are really two profiles. One is the same profile they are referring to. There, one of the triggers is also your own deferred consumption. So you buy a gift card or you redeem of a catalog or whatever it is, and then you consume it at a later date in the store. One. Second is it could be gifted to me by my employer or by the brand I work with as part of an incentive or whatever it is. And the third is the genuine gifting kind of thing, whether it's a wedding or something, where we find it's much easier for a lot of people to buy a gift card which says, you go and buy what you want at Croma, rather than, here is a pressure cooker or a gas stove.
I'll add too, for us, we are just in the launch phase of our gift of health card, so it's hard to say exactly who the consumer is, but I can tell you this generally. In NetMeds, out of about 3 million active customers, 65% of them are non-metro dwellers, which is interesting and important. These are the people that don't have the benefit of choice, a brick-and-mortar pharmacist on every corner. So they are thrilled at the idea of being able to have access and affordability to modern medicine. I spoke to a guy who's a forest ranger in Assam at the Rhino Park. He was driving 6 hours each way to get his medicine. And now it's delivered. So I believe, again, the same numbers are going to hold true. This gift card, giving the gift of health to somebody who is in a remote, a non-metro, third, fourth tier town is going to be a greatly received benefit.
So for us, gift cards are not being used for gifting as such. They're,
Right.
the customers are using it for themselves. And so therefore, who's our customer? Our customer base is quite diverse. So mostly, we are completely digital. So we are one of the, probably the largest users of the digital, EGV gift card mechanism. And so we are, because of being digital, we are everywhere, right? So our customers are tier 2, tier 3, even, Jammu and Northeast and stuff like that. As I said, these are banked customers. They have income levels. They are salaried, and demographically, very diverse. So they could be, an Uber driver or someone who's working in a BPO. They could also be someone who's like us and sitting in Bangalore and just wanting to use EMI, easy available EMI on say an Amazon. So for us, it's a very diverse customer base, and it also depends on the brand. So for example, a customer who's using the gift card mechanism with the EMI functionality on, let's say, a travel site is very different from someone obviously on let's say a Nika or someone like that. So it really depends on the brand. I think the key functionality that we are providing for is making something more affordable and providing an EMI option that wasn't available to them earlier. And therefore, for the brand, we are providing them a higher ticket size than normally they would afford, and all the things that come with, availability of credit, basically.
Got it. Let's move to, a lot of you mentioned that corporate is big. I'm curious, that is corporate a way to acquire, acclimatize customers to a new way of gifting? I mean, right now it sounds like it's rewards, right? Rewarding your customers, rewarding your employees. promoting loyalty. Do you see that these people who are getting gift cards are actually adopting it in future gifting for themselves? Like they exposed to it and they say, wow, I got an Amazon gift card, this was amazing. Let me gift a gift card to another friend of mine because it seems like the most efficient way. Is that something that you're seeing happening?
I haven't gotten any back.
No, absolutely. I think I'm seeing increasingly people gifting gift cards across. I mean, whether it's Amazon gift card or any retail sort of gift card. I mean, even within friends and families, I'm seeing that, you know, just for the lack of time or whatever you call it, because on both sides there's lack of time, right? I mean,
Right.
I want to give a gift. I'm busy in office. I really don't know what to kind of figure out. I just buy a gift card online and gift it to my friend or to my family member, right? So it's much easier that way. And it's easier also because it's digital. I mean, if you're staying in different places, somebody's in Singapore, someone's in Bangalore, someone's in Delhi, it just makes life easier. So I think in the last 3 to 4 years, I'm seeing increased usage of this because people are also seeing it in corporate world as well, right? Because people are getting it. I see even our employees kind of using that as a mechanism to gift something to each other. I think that's going up for sure.
Just to add from the perspective of a brand, you know, we like new customers. I think there was a statistic talked about 75 million, was that the number, of new first time. You know, we like people to visit our store because the existing customer is anyway coming, okay? And you know what you guys call CAC in your industry, customer acquisition cost. Yeah, in the offline world, the budgets are a lot smaller. Yeah, this is a great way for us to acquire customers because typically when a customer walks in with a 1,000 rupee gift voucher, he ends up spending minimum of 2,000. And let's say he likes the experience, he's likely to become a member of one of your programs, or in our case, he may download a Future Pay wallet. And that's, in a way, you've won that customer over at a very, very minimal, and it's a prepaid instrument. We like the fact that we sit on cash, okay, because there is a float which comes with it. So there are lots of good things going for us, and it actually enables a very low customer acquisition cost for us. And that's very useful from a brand perspective.
Yeah, that's actually, so the journey at Croma over the last 4 years started with an analysis where we figured out that gift card carrying customers are willing to travel a longer distance to come to the store. But once they've come in, the repeat behavior kicks in. And that's really how we also got started on this journey. In fact, to be absolutely honest, the biggest impact gift cards has on our business is sort of like Zestmoney, where we use it as a tool rather than as a gifting mechanism.
Okay,
Where we use it to power all our promotions. And in fact, today our entire loyalty program runs off gift cards. So that's really how it's getting used.
I would stick my head out on behalf of me and probably Ritesh also to say it is the lowest cost per acquisition medium amongst many of the normal channels that you talk about, including digital, offline media, etc. It's a very low cost conversion if you do the total P&L for your gift card.
Right.
Because, I mean, I agree with that because it basically works like how a referral program would work for a normal app, right? In the digital world, typically you have someone referring someone, let's say on a Flipkart or a Myntra, and you get X amount in your wallet, right? 200 rupees, 300 rupees, and then you can use that in your next transaction. So effectively, even in the offline world, it's working more like a referral because if I give you a gift card, you will use it and then talk about it with 5 other people. So obviously, it has to be the lowest cost of acquisition. So I think that makes a lot of sense, both for offline and digital worlds.
Got it. I'm seeing a lot of people on this panel with very, very different businesses trying, and talking about how adoption has increased. Would like to understand what do you see, what the future holds, what innovations can we sort of think are going to drive this industry forward to drive more adoption?
I think more than innovations will keep happening and they'll all be digital given the world we live in. I think more and more people will see gift cards. So from an organization's perspective, it is a far more sensible mechanism to gratify employees or partners rather than actually moving merchandise. Okay. Because there is a whole algorithm of logistics, people coming back and saying, can I take cash instead, etc., which this resolves. From a customer's perspective, from a gifting angle, you are actually gifting freedom. Okay. you can gift an article, which, like Bruce has very eloquently explained, carries a certain risk. Or you can, give the choice of shopping at a, favored destination. That becomes freedom to choose kind of thing. Okay, it's not restrictive. At the same time, it is better than giving cash because, cash and to that extent, Amazon Pay kind of things, I'm not a big fan of because that's really just gifting currency. It shows, like he just illustrated, मेरे पास time नहीं था, right? When you pick up a H&M or a Croma gift card or a Dineout kind of experience gift card, you're actually saying I think about you, which is the way you want to feel as a giftee. At the same time, there is a lot of freedom which comes with that choice. And I think these are the two drivers of growth I see happening.
There's another really interesting twist to this that we are hoping to facilitate. Across India, through central as well as most state governments, poor people are entitled to a medical stipend. Part of that is to help them buy medicine. But there are a couple of difficulties that are incumbent around this, and one of them is actually getting the money in the hands of the people that are entitled to it. The second challenge is if you actually distribute cash to someone who is supposed to go and buy medicine with it, two things may happen. One of which is they may not buy medicine, they may use it to buy other things. And the second thing is they might not get the proper change back when they exchange the cash. So anyway, all these little details can actually be solved by linking a health gift card to an Aadhaar number of people who are entitled to a government stipend for monthly medical. So that's one of the really interesting parts where we think this is going to come into play.
So for us, I think the way forward and the innovation that we're trying to do is to make this, gift card powered with an EMI completely instant, and that too in an in-store environment. So it's already, we've already done that online, but that's something that we are going to be rolling out aggressively this year. Is that how do you actually provide instant EMI, through a gift card mechanism offline? And that I think is very innovative because currently, especially offline, you can only get EMI options either, if you have an existing credit card, which only 30 million people in this country have a credit card, and or through tie-ups that someone like a Croma or even Big Bazaar might have with a Bajaj Finance and other similar providers, and that involves a lot of paperwork, lot of back and forth, and it's also still available to a tiny segment of society actually. So for us, making it instant, real-time, and available online and offline, and the ability to use through multiple brands at any given point in time is something that we are working on and will be rolling out, and that I see as the main innovation on the gift card platform.
Got it.
I'll give you an example of the real big consumption market of India in gifting is marriage. Most people, length and width of India, spend largest amount of money, correctly or wrongly, one can keep debating, but they spend a lot of money. To give you a parallel example, the area of luggage, which is suitcases, it's a big product for marriage. And we cracked that by creating a lot of very marriage-centric ranges. Different parts of the country, different colors work. Nothing to do with gift cards, but it was being gifted. So, luggage combination sets of small, medium, large, in a very nice floral wedding kind of a packing. I think those kind of things really worked. My sense is, and this is again a request to you guys, unless it becomes, gift card becomes a part of the popular culture. How many movies do we see in which a heroine gives or hero gives something, right? We must have a larger societal change to happen, and it's not something one brand can do individually, but unless that needle changes, the market can just explode.
Yeah, I think at least in our world, like when I look at the restaurant world, what we are doing and what I think will be a big driver for growth is enabling the merchant at the ground level to do his own sort of gift card sort of solution, right? Because imagine a restaurant in a Bangalore or a Delhi or a Bombay, and I'm talking about good areas, even like in Indiranagar, etc. How can a restaurant actually engage with his customers? There's today really no way where a restaurant owner can engage with his loyal customers, right? If I know your birthday, anniversary. So we've got a B2B software inside the restaurant which tracks every data point of the customer, let's say a birthday, anniversary, his spends, etc. Now, if I as a restaurateur want to reward that customer and ensure he stays loyal to me and comes back, it's really hard, right? We at a larger scale, it's a larger chain, let's say a Croma or a Future Group can do it, right? But a merchant at that level, a single restaurant owner cannot do it. So that is something that we are looking to enable at the merchant level, that they can do that themselves through our SaaS-based solutions. Now imagine if 10, 15,000 restaurateurs across India can start doing that, then automatically, the things start changing, right? Because then it becomes a part of your popular culture that I could gift gift card for Toit, right, for example, or any other microbrewery, right, in Bangalore, right? So then it becomes the norm, right? So gradually, I think, as and when, this technology kind of takes a leap, right, in terms of allowing even single merchants, offline retailing merchants to do this in a very, casual sort of manner, which is very easy to do and not very difficult to measure, I think it will become even more popular and large scale, as you mentioned, yeah.
Actually, on that point, would like to understand that as brands, what are you guys doing to sort of promote gift cards as a culture? Are there any, has there been a concentrated effort to make that happen? Or, whatever you're seeing today is organic growth?
So, there is a difference between opening up the entire store and saying, here is a Bluetooth speaker for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And the thought really sits somewhere in the middle. So for instance, I don't want to gift an Amazon gift card, but I may want to gift a book to someone who I know loves reading. Okay. So a gift card which is, targeted at a section of the store. And that's something we've been doing very successfully for a while. So we have, created a suite of gift cards. You can buy any Bose article in the store against this gift card, would be one way of doing it. We have these, little things called gadgets of desire, which are little, really cool headphones, earphones, little tech toys, all in the range of, 2,500 to 5,000 maybe. There's a specific gift card which you can redeem against that catalog. Okay, so ideas like this, which are, saying I know broadly what you want. Okay, I know you well enough to, care about you enough to say I know you love music, and therefore I'm giving you a gift of Bose. But I don't know whether you will, like format A, B, in your ears, on your head, whatever it is. So you come and take a look and choose for yourself. And that's really been what has worked well for us. Similarly, for, in the wedding seasons, typically we do what we call a wedding package kind of thing. So here is a card worth 1,40,000, whatever. Just go and, shop.
But do you see guys in your store actually, when a customer walks in and they realize that, this guy does not know what he's looking for, this is a gift. Are you asking these people to promote gift card as an option versus, sort of buying a pressure cooker or buying a washing machine?
So we don't sell pressure cookers. It will be a little out of place.
Yeah.
But what we do is there is a section for gift cards.
Okay.
Okay, starting with Google Play and whatever, and our own gift cards as well are a part of it. And you can buy them off our site as well.
Got it.
So again, e-cards are a much bigger part of the portfolio than
Okay.
people walking into the store and buying gift cards.
Got it.
So till now, it's been like very corporate. B2, B2C has been the bulk of the market as we know it. I think there is an interesting play that's happening in B2C now with one example, Paytm, which is kind of an aggregator who puts together, not for B2B, but for B2C purpose, where it's so easy to just go to a wallet and, pay from there, get your gift card on the spot. Of course, there are good deals, schemes, all of that. But I think that kind of a thing ensures a very wide reach for the B2C segment. And I think we are seeing also a lot of explosive growth in that segment.
Got it.
As I said, ours is very new, but we do intend to make the concept of giving the gift of health synonymous with the brand. And he's already done some work I can steal from him on creating different categories. And we'll steal the future pay concept of spend 10,000, shop for 12,000. I'm a customer. I'll show you my future pay app.
Let's open it to questions from the audience.
Got a message also from the Tata Group's brand custodian. It might, in the context of this discussion by this one, he also wanted to be here, Mr. Harish, but he couldn't, so he sent a message. You could play it, because in this context of this panel, actually, he had given some thoughts. So
Okay, let's hear that.
Right, if it's okay for the panel.
Hi, my name is Harish Bhatt. I am brand custodian of Tata Sons, and I want to thank Qwikcilver for the robust partnership that you have been having with so many of our group companies on our gift card programs over the past several years. I still remember several years ago, I think it was in 2010-11, when I met up with both Pratap and Kumar to discuss the possibility of a gift card program for the World of Titan stores within Titan. And that was introduced in the year 2011. And it's very gratifying to see today that so many brands across the Tata Group have also been in a very strong partnership with Qwikcilver on their respective gift card programs. This includes Fast Track, it includes Helios, it includes the World of Titan stores, it includes Tanera, it includes Westside, Star Bazaar, the Taj Group of Hotels Experience gift card program, as well as, I think, a very, very innovative partnership that Qwikcilver has crafted with a program that we call Tata Shop, Share and Smile, which is for employees of the Tata Group, their friends and family. What I like about Qwikcilver is that they have come up with solutions to our needs, and the needs in each of these cases have been fairly different from each other. A World of Titan gift card program is very different from the kind of need that a Tata Shop Share Smile program had from Qwikcilver. But I believe that Qwikcilver has been very quick to sense and understand what we require and come up with solutions for these requirements. Qwikcilver is an expert in the area of gift cards, and we have benefited greatly from the partnerships that we have had with them over the past several years. I want to use this opportunity to wish this gift card conclave, which has been organized by Qwikcilver, all the very best. Gift cards are a key human need. All of us love gifting things to our friends, to our relatives, to our colleagues, and gift cards play a very critical role in that entire need space. My belief is that the work that Qwikcilver is doing will grow from leaps to bounds. I'd like to congratulate the leadership and the management of Qwikcilver on the wonderful progress that you have made over the past several years, and wish you all the very best for an even brighter future. Thank you.
Thank you indeed. And Aditi, with your permission, would like to place 2 questions to the panel that have been tweeted. We've been getting some on the live tweet. Is that okay to ask the panelists now?
Sure, sure.
Right, and of course, very fitting message coming in from Mr. Harish Bhatt, considering that he's the author of The Curious Marketer and Tata Lok. Very crucial and heartwarming endorsement that. Now, for the questions that have been coming in, I also would like to invite others to tweet, and because we have the credit card, the gift card experts here on the panel. 2 of them which have come here, and I'm going to place it right away. Vignesh asks that the Indian mentality is such that gift cards are not taken seriously. Sometimes they are shelved until they expire and then discarded. How do you suggest we influence the customers to take gift cards more seriously? There's also another question which I would like to club for you, Aditi, and it says, from Adele, it was mentioned that this is a cost-effective option to acquire customers. Do you all agree that gift cards should be treated as a marketing medium alone? Would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Go first. So the very fact that gift cards is something I handle, I'm the CMO. My core KRA is to fill the store. So we use it purely as a marketing tool. Yes, of course, it comes with a, balance sheet impact at the end of the year. But that's pretty much how marketing happens across the country now, in any case. On the other question about not being taken seriously, I don't think it's about being taken seriously or not. Especially with the card, the physical card, it can get lost. When it comes to you, you may not be in the market for a electronic good. And by the time you come into the market for a good, you have lost the card. And that's another of the, things which a e-card has solved, because it doesn't get lost. We have examples of people coming back years later and saying, I found this card, can I redeem it, etc. But that's usually with the physical card, not with the e-card.
I come from an industry that in 2014 was not only not taken seriously, it didn't exist. In 2014, we did 0 online retail spend in e-pharma. Then 2015 came and went, 16, 17. At the end of 2018, we and some other good guys, big guys like us, we actually carved out 1% of the overall retail spend. So we went from not being taken seriously at all to being a player, and now we're projected, the group of us, to carve between 3 and 5% of $15 billion in the next 2 years. So what does it take to go from not being taken seriously to being a player in any industry? You got to spend some money.
Just to add to both those points, I think what a big chocolate brand did to the mithai market, what is it, 8 years, 7 years back, the famous example, okay, somebody needs to do. Maybe we'll be the one, future group, we will certainly put our might behind it. But I think if somebody can do exactly that, which is, the mithai unorganized segment, and today how chocolates have become a great way to, I know it's nothing to do with gift cards, but, I think there is immense potential for some players to pick this up and convert all of it.
Pratap would also actually like to ask you on that, how often do you see gift cards not being used? Is that a large chunk of...
Sorry, when you said not being used, meaning not being used ever by a consumer?
Yes, like the question said, right, that they may just be sitting with you and they expire and they're never used.
Yeah, that, like Ritesh said, is part of the balance sheet workings of the program as such. But having said that, none of the brands as such that we work with are looking at it, okay, we have got a gift card which a consumer has got. If he or she is not using it, sorry, you've lost it. Because each of the brands are in it for promoting their respective merchandise. So what happens is that when the consumer invariably forgets to use the gift card, as in to redeem the gift card in the stores or on the e-commerce portals, and the consumer goes back to the stores and say, I forgot about it, and they, in a way, in a state of mind, they're very, depressed with their state that they are actually taking it upon themselves that I forgot to use this 500 rupee card or a 1,000 rupee card, or for the matter, 5,000 rupee card. The brand doesn't tell them sorry. The brand, and they have a respective SOP in place to quote-unquote revalidate the card, and then the consumer gets extremely delighted from a state of mind of being so disappointed. They get into a state of excitement and the level of excitement for the brand goes up tremendously when the brand revalidates the card, because in the consumer's mind, he or she is believed that I've lost this money. But the brands are then revalidating the card, and that particular percentage itself is anything. Of course, it varies from brand to brand and category to category, but anything from, say, 0% to as high as about 10-12% is witnessed in India, where consumers are not in actually redeeming the card within the validity period. But otherwise, significantly about close to 50% of the cards get used within 30 days of the cards actually getting activated or purchased or gifted by the gifter.
Let me just add up from the perspective of the brands. We are not in this game for breakage. I think if that's your, certainly not. I mean, it's much more fun for us, for the customer to come, buy double, triple. Some percentage of them will become repeat buyers, loyal customers. Breakage is not the game. In fact, we are happy with there's no need for breakage in this. We would love for, and I think what Ritesh also said, we go out of our way to revalidate years later. There's no problem at all. It's your currency. It's valid all the time. There are enough SOPs in place for it. Breakage is not the game at all in this business.
Got it. But there are some regulatory challenges to that gift cards being valid for a certain period. So how do you address,
So we are closed loop. Correct me, Kumar, if I'm closed loop. I don't think there is any regulatory challenge there.
And again, too,
Not for closed loop, okay.
and as he said so accurately, you know, above all of us want to protect the brand and enhance the image of the brand, and we certainly never want a promotion, a gift card to go sideways and give a negative reflection on the brand. So a day doesn't go by that we are not asked to extend the expiration date on what we call NMS cash, which is loyalty cash. We'll always do it. If somebody's time has run out on something we gave them or somebody else gave them, if it timed out, we will 100% extend that time and allow them to come on in and be a customer.
But on the regulatory front, it just occurred to me one thing which is, I don't know how that will get addressed. When we were doing it, at least from an employee perspective as an incentive program and stuff, when it was at a small scale, nobody asked us any questions. But now as we are scaling it up, our finance team is coming back and asking us the question that how is the tax thing getting figured out in this? Because if you're giving it to employees, then the whole TDS part and all that, you know, kind of comes in. So are you kind of going outside of that and, you know, giving gift cards to your employees? So that's a question which is getting raised internally. I don't know from a regulatory standpoint how that works, but as it starts scaling up and it becomes larger, even in the B2B, B2C, sort of B2B, B2C sort of space with employee rewards, etc., I think that might be a question that we might need to answer as to how that will work.
Got it. And I mean, across the panel, is this, are gift cards currently being used more as a loyalty reward exercise, or is it actually being used to gift? Where do you see it right now, and how do you see that evolving as well?
See, even if it's B2B2C, it is a gift. An employer giving a gift card to his employees, and that's why there is a question around, you know, is it
No,
part
I mean,
of
it could be a
CTC or
gift,
not?
it could be a reward, it could be, I mean, there could be different reasons why you give a
Right.
card as well. So I'm
Right.
trying to understand that how much of it is actually gift versus a loyalty thing other than.
Very difficult to say.
Okay.
Okay. Definitely, it is almost 90-10 B2B2C versus direct B2C.
Right.
But within that B2B2C, you know, there are organizations, most of the customers are organizations. There are, for us, another large part of the business are aggregators. But they in turn are also, you know, selling to organizations. Okay. So it's very difficult to break it down into how much was a quid pro quo incentive kind of thing versus how much is a gift, which is a gratuitous thing.
Let's put it this way, the amount of physical gifts which are given is likely to be many, many times bigger than gift cards. My guess. I don't have data to support this, but I can tell you people give bed sheets, towels. People like to give. Diwali in Delhi, right, is a time when people move around with loaded dickies, right? They, you know, it's literally the time when, and I think what he spoke about how karma sometimes comes back, the same gift, gum gam ke, right? It is big. And I think that is the market we need to crack.
For us, we see this as a mechanism to drive consumption and for brands to actually reconnect with their consumers and offer them something beyond just a gift card, and offer easy EMIs on this platform, and then obviously helps the brand sort of reach out to a bigger audience.
Let's open it up to questions from the audience. Can anybody help with?
Yeah, but like Vinay, you asked about doing a chocolate category, no? And Kumar was asking, when will we get Deepika Padukone talking about gift cards in a TV commercial or dancing on in the Chinnaswamy Stadium at IPL, jab match ho raha hai, so that gift cards are the coolest thing to gift with to Virat Kohli.
No, I am happy to partner with you guys to create something big here.
Absolutely, yeah, done. Absolutely.
You do the funding, we'll take care of the rest.
Okay, I think we're also out of time. I did not see that. Thank you.